All right, this is a quick, just a little tip. This is not 100% accurate at all times, but if your dog is counter surfing, and especially if they're getting old enough to kind of reach the counter, this is a good tip to use. Now, these are marble countertops, so I'm not using a plate. I didn't have any plastic plates, so this will wipe off, but make sure you're not doing something that will actually stain. This is just some breakfast sausage that is doused with this. Now, the first time they ever counter surf, or maybe the first 2 or 3 times, and they get a whiff of hot sauce, that's a good deterrent early on. Some dogs are used to the good stuff, and the earlier the better, especially if you have a dog that you know is going to get big. I know that's not the best visual in the world. However, it does work most of the time, except for Labradors, especially white labs for some reason. I don't know what it is about the breed, especially that part of the breed. And then, so anything they're getting into, whether that's trash. Okay, so this here, this is a piece of just plastic that had food in it that was in the trash. And I heard them getting into it. So instead of getting onto the dog and scolding the dog, I just left the trash on the floor, made sure they dropped it, and I put a couple of douses of hot sauce on that. Now I'm just leaving this for the day, and they haven't touched it in about 3 hours, and I got 4 or 5 dogs, 3 dogs, sorry. And then one of them likes to get into tissue paper or paper towels, anything paper related, which I'm sure y'all can relate if you've ever had a puppy. But I did not douse that one yet in hot sauce, because I just figured I would save you the visual of a white napkin with red hot sauce on it. So that's pretty much it. It's like you're trying to trick the dog. I hate scolding dogs, and I kind of like try and trick them into doing their own training themselves, if that makes sense. So I'm baiting them, and I invite them to just, go sniff around, see how that works out for you. And it's going to give them a few minutes. Now, there's also Dave's Insanity sauce that if sriracha should do the work, but if you have a white dog, you're going to have a red stain on them for a day or two. But they learn their lesson pretty quickly. And but you just leave it out for like a day. And then what you can do, instead of leaving food out and going through all that, you just take a napkin and just put a little sriracha in it, and you just leave it on the counter. And it's a work in progress. It's not, and it's definitely not automatic, but it's one tool that you can use to not have to be yelling at the dog and all that kind of stuff, and just kind of have fun with it and see if you can trick the dogs into doing what you want and still praise them the whole way. And just go, I know, I hate hot sauce too. Isn't that hot? I'm so sorry, honey. So anyway, hope this is helpful. Let me know. Post here if it works or anything like that. So the whole idea is to get the dogs to kind of train themselves. I really don't like the over the top leash training and yelling and all that kind of stuff if I can avoid it. So I try and be smarter than them because I'm human, and it seldom works. Cheers.